Good morning. Happy Monday to you. Keep this in mind, brought to you by specthealth.com. It's Monday, and Monday is usually a day of new beginnings. A lot of people, when they want to start a new project or a new journey or a diet or whatever, often do it on Mondays, which also means that Monday is a very, at least in what we have experienced, check-in day. The day that you check on your progress. Did you lose the weight that you wanted to lose this week? Did you hit the goal that you wanted to hit? Did you lift the weight that you wanted to lift this week? Did you make progress there? And while I believe setting goals is massively important, I mean, you don't know where you're going or if you've gotten there if you don't have a destination, right? But can I tell you that managing your expectations is equally important? Here's why. A lot of times we'll go into a journey with a lot of motivation, a lot of inspiration. We will see somebody, hear something that really causes us to take action. Maybe it's somebody you've watched, maybe it is somebody you know, and you've got this great deal of motivation to achieve something. If you're in business, it may be like the sales meeting leading up to the big project that you're working on, and everybody's just really jazzed up and they're ready to go, take on the world and achieve this goal. Or maybe it's you finally got that motivation to get into the gym and you're really, kind of know where you want to be as far as how much you can bench press or how much you can squat or whatever. And you have this great deal of motivation, but something happens. Something feels like it's derailing you. Something feels like it's not quite clicking during the course of your journey. That's why it's so vitally important to manage your expectations. Now, that's not saying sell yourself short, give yourself an out. What I mean by managing expectations is this. It's going to be harder than you expected. It's going to take longer than you expected, and it's probably going to cost more than you expected. So how do you deal with that throughout the course of the journey? Well, number one, I think, is setting multiple ways to measure progress along the way. For instance, as a health coach, we'll start with health, and then I'm going to go into a couple of other areas. So this can apply in just about every area of your life. But in health, a lot of people have this one area of measurement, and that is the scale. The scale is a truth teller, but it's also only one area. I think about my friend Tom Hamill, who just celebrated adding 20 pounds of muscle to himself. So if the scale was his only measurement of what his progress looked like, he would be like, oh my gosh, I gained 20 pounds. But because he had multiple areas of measurement and he was doing workouts and he knew he was adding muscle, then the scale was but one measurement. So is the scale. Then there's other areas. For instance, taking a tape measure and measuring your body and seeing how your body shape and how your body's distributing its weight changes. As when I was on my health journey, I had to go through 3 sets of clothes. But can I tell you, not every week on the scale matched what my clothes were doing. It was almost like parts of my body were shifting to other parts of my body as my body was becoming more efficient to the new way of living and the new healthy way of eating. Other non-scale victories is like better sleep, more energy in the daytime because your body's operating at peak performance. These are areas that you cannot see, that you cannot always quantify with a number, but yet they are showing progress. Now let's talk about business for a minute. The two measures of progress that we all look at the hardest is what? Revenue generation and profitability. But can I tell you that in a business, there are so many different areas to measure progress? Yes, those are vital. Without revenue, without profit, there is no business. But are you also looking at performance with regard to numbers of calls, closing ratios, total numbers sold? Maybe not at the highest amount, but did we sell more total numbers of things than we did before? The ability to hit a deadline. Did we hit the deadline we set for ourselves, or did we go past it? And the next time around, did we go before it? There's so many ways to measure progress that if all we do is hone in on the one or two things that are what you would call the most common, we can become blinded to the actual progress that is going on. Other things in life. I think about students all the time. We look at somebody's grades, right, as the ultimate measurement of progress. But that's not the only measurement of progress. How about class participation? Maybe a student who didn't participate at all, but they're now starting to participate more in class and answering questions and asking questions and having a better attitude. And while the grade hasn't quite followed yet, we haven't gotten from that F to that A, but we're at that D level to C level. Progress is being shown. As I started this, I want to reiterate. When you go on a new journey, it doesn't matter what it is. It can be in your health. It can be in your business. It can be in your finances. It can be any area of life. It's going to take longer than you expected. It's going to be harder than you expect. And it's going to cost you more than you expected. It's just true. Now, cost is not always dollars. Getting back to the multiple ways to measure, it may cost you in relationships. It may cost you in time. It may cost you in convenience. You see, doing anything great, doing anything that is transformational will always, always, always be a roller coaster ride at times. I have yet to have a coaching client say, I went from A to B and it was a straight line. It's always ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs. But the question is, are you ready to stick it through to your goal? Are you ready to keep the course and course correct as you go along until you reach that revenue goal in your business, or till you reach that weight or health goal in your health, or till you reach that grade goal in your school, or till you, whatever, the goal in the gym? You can do this. The truth is, you need to go into it with a full expectation that you're going to have to measure multiple ways to keep yourself going. Because as you're trying to build a habit of success, you need a little bit of win to help you. And those wins will stack on top of one another till you get the ultimate win, which is your goal. So, final recap. Measure, but measure in more way than one. Manage your expectations. Know that this journey is going to take longer, harder, and cost more. But know also that every bit of it along the way is worth it, because you're going to learn lessons, you're going to build habits, and you're going to be successful. God bless.